How's everyone doing? Tomorrow, Sunday, is the 84th Annual Academy Awards, the Oscars, and I figured I'd go on here and make a video about my choices, who deserves to win, and who I think will actually win, my predictions. So definitely let me know what you think of my choices and predictions, and let me know what your choices and predictions are as well. And let me know if you're going to watch the Oscars as well. I know a lot of people have Oscar parties. There's the other end of the spectrum, but I know there's people that aren't even interested in watching the Oscars. So let me know if you plan to watch the Oscars. And personally for me, I felt like 2011 was a pretty watered down year for films. Definitely one of the more watered down years in recent memory. And each year it seems to get progressively worse, in my opinion. It's a progressive decline. Now there were a few good films from the year, but only a couple transcendent films. And really great ones in my opinion. And also there were a lot of ones that in my opinion were snubbed and didn't get nominated, and I feel like they deserve to be nominated, especially over some of the other ones that were nominated. Now I'm going to go through just the top more popular categories. I'm going to go through the whole list, sound editing and film editing and everything like that. I'm going to go through Best Animated Feature Film, Best Supporting Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Actress, Best Actor, and then Best Picture. Now for Best Animated Feature Film, there are 5 movies in this category: Puss in Boots, Kung Fu Panda 2, Rango, Chico and Rita, and A Cat in Paris. And of these, I would choose Rango. Rango is a very underrated film of this year, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. Great animation, and it's a great storyline as well. I think it's a movie that adults and kids both can enjoy. Now for Best Actress in a Supporting Role, you have Bérénice Bejo from The Artist, you have Jessica Chastain from The Help, Melissa McCarthy from Bridesmaids, Janet McTeer from Albert Nobbs, and Octavia Spencer from The Help. Now I think Melissa McCarthy for Bridesmaids, in my opinion, shouldn't have been nominated. I think Bridesmaids was an okay movie. I felt it was definitely overhyped. It had some funny spots, but it wasn't as great as all the hype that I heard. And Melissa McCarthy being nominated for Best Supporting Actress really just seems out of place in my opinion. I really like Octavia Spencer. She's been in a lot of movies, a lot of very comedic roles, and it's good to see her do a little bit more serious role, even though she had some comedic elements going on in The Help as well. And I think it's going to be between Octavia Spencer from The Help or Bérénice Bejo from The Artist. I think both are deserving, and I think the Academy will go with Bérénice Bejo from The Artist because The Artist seems like an Academy film, in my opinion. It just seems like something that they really favor. So I think Bérénice Bejo will win, but I could go with Bérénice Bejo or Octavia Spencer as my choice. Either one, both of those are good for me, but my prediction is that the Academy will go with Bérénice Bejo for The Artist. Now on to Best Actor in a Supporting Role. You have Kenneth Branagh with My Week with Marilyn. You have Jonah Hill from Moneyball, which in my opinion is so out of place again, much like Melissa McCarthy. I don't think Jonah Hill should have been even nominated. I'm not a big Jonah Hill fan. I liked him in Superbad, and that was really the only thing I enjoyed him in, honestly. You also have Nick Nolte for The Warrior. It's great to see some recognition for him. Christopher Plummer from The Beginners, and Max von Sydow, who is an acting legend. He was in Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, and it's great to see him in roles still and being nominated and recognized for his talent. He's been around for forever. Of course, he was in Seventh Seal, Wild Strawberries. He was even Ming the Merciless in Flash Gordon. I mean, he's been around since, I think his first role was in like the late 40s. You know, he's been in so many great movies and an incredible lifetime of acting. My choice, who I think deserves to win for Best Supporting Actor, is Nick Nolte. I thought The Warrior was a great movie. It was this generation's Rocky, and he played his role perfectly. Now, who do I think will win? I'm leaning towards Christopher Plummer in The Beginners. I'm thinking that seems like kind of an Academy choice, but they do favor actors who have been around for a while and maybe kind of missed their opportunities here or there in the past, so maybe Nick Nolte will get a chance, but I'm leaning towards Christopher Plummer. Next up is Best Actress in a Leading Role, and you have Glenn Close for Albert Nobbs, Viola Davis for The Help, Rooney Mara for The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo remake, and I always hear people going crazy for Rooney Mara. What about Noomi Rapace from the original? I thought her performance was much better, and if you want my opinion, everybody's been asking me, I'm going to do a whole separate video about my opinion on the remake of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo versus the original. But I think Noomi Rapace doesn't get enough credit for her role, and I hear everybody just going crazy over Rooney Mara and her performance, but in my opinion, I think Noomi Rapace did an even better job in her role. But I digress. Next up you have Meryl Streep in The Iron Lady and Michelle Williams in My Week with Marilyn. Meryl Streep is, obviously iconic and a legend. I could see them choosing her, but I think that Viola Davis for The Help will win, and I think deservedly so. That's who I'm going to choose as who I think deserves to win, as well as who I think the Academy will go with. Viola Davis for The Help, for Best Actress. And next up is Best Actor in a Leading Role. You have Demián Bichir for A Better Life, Jean Dujardin for The Artist, George Clooney for The Descendants, Brad Pitt for Moneyball, and Gary Oldman for Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Now again, I'm not so sure about Brad Pitt being nominated for Moneyball. I'm not sure if that was really an Academy Award winning performance in my opinion. That's just me personally. And I also think Leonardo DiCaprio was snubbed for not getting a nomination for Best Actor for J. Edgar. I would have taken his performance as J. Edgar Hoover way over Brad Pitt's performance in Moneyball. Who do I think deserves it? I'm going to go with George Clooney because I think in 2009 he got robbed for Best Actor for Up in the Air, and that movie got robbed as well. That was clearly the best picture, at least of the films that were nominated. Most of those films that year weren't even deserving to be in the category. I'm sorry, you have The Blind Side being nominated for Best Picture? Come on. I just don't think that was a great movie by any means. I mean, if you're going to nominate a movie like The Blind Side, why not nominate The Gridiron Gang with The Rock? It's the same type of film. Anyways, I digress. But I think George Clooney, this will be a makeup win for him because he should have won for Up in the Air. And I think he's going to win for The Descendants. That's who I think deserves the win, and that's who I think will win. That's my prediction for Best Actor. And next up, this is what everybody's been waiting for, Best Picture, and there are 9 nominations this year. In my opinion, nearly all of them should not have been nominated. Most of these films were just okay for me personally, and definitely not Best Picture worthy. First up, you have The Artist, which in my opinion, this is going to be an Academy favorite. This is an Academy film. This is something I could see them picking. This is right up their alley, right in their wheelhouse. Next up, The Descendants, The Help, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, Hugo, Midnight in Paris, War Horse, Moneyball, and The Tree of Life. Like I said, most of these I don't think should have even been nominated. I'm not gonna, if you want specifics, I think War Horse was one of the schmaltziest movies ever made. It was so ridiculously sentimental and over the top and absurd. I can't even just wrap my head around why anybody would think that deserves to be Best Picture. It was just so ridiculously over the top, manipulative, schmaltzy, sentimental, just so absurd in my opinion. If you thought Titanic was bad, this is like Titanic meets The Horse Whisperer. The Tree of Life, I would have preferred to see Melancholia get nominated. I think Drive should have been nominated. I think Shame should have been nominated. Melancholia as well. I think those were huge Oscar snubs right there. I couldn't believe Drive wasn't nominated. That was one of the few transcendent films of the year. I did enjoy Hugo, Martin Scorsese's kind of ode to film. I really enjoyed that. That was very creative and imaginative. Definitely enjoyed that one. That one deserves to be on the list. Now, out of the films nominated, what I would choose, what I think deserves to win, out of the ones nominated, again, would be Midnight in Paris, Woody Allen's Midnight in Paris. I think it was, of the ones nominated, it's the best choice here. It was my favorite movie of the ones that are nominated. Not my favorite movie of the year, but it is a very enjoyable film, a great fantasy movie, has some romantic aspects to it, and I really did enjoy the film. It was one of my favorite Woody Allen movies in a long time. His last few just didn't do it for me, especially Vicky Cristina Barcelona. I really disliked that movie. I liked Penelope Cruz's performance, and I loved seeing Barcelona, and that's one thing that Woody Allen is known for in his films. He captures the city that the film is being taken place in. And he does a great job of this in Midnight in Paris. And I definitely think, of the ones nominated, Midnight in Paris is by far the best. By far. You have Midnight in Paris, and then there's Hugo, and then there's a huge drop-off in films from there, in my opinion, of the ones that are nominated. However, that being said, I think that the Academy will go with The Artist. It just seems, like I said, it seems like an Academy film. It seems like something, I like The Artist, don't get me wrong, it's charming. But it's, I don't think it's Best Picture worthy. It's a charming film, it's quaint, it's, sentimental, but it's nothing really deep or special in my opinion. I will say, I've heard a lot of people say that the black and white and the silent film is kind of a novelty. I disagree with that. I like that effect of it, I like that. And after watching it for a few minutes, you kind of forget that that's even the case, that it's black and white and silent film. You just get drawn into the storyline. But like I said, it's a charming film, but it's nothing deep or special or anything significant. I'm going to go with my prediction that they're going to choose The Artist. And like I said, I think Midnight in Paris deserves to win, though, of the films nominated. But there you go. Those are my Academy Award choices and predictions. So there you go. Those are my choices and predictions. Let me know what you think of my choices and predictions. And let me know what your choices and predictions are of the categories that I mentioned. Leave me a comment or video response down below. Hope everybody's doing well. Take care.